Hello and welcome to another gameplay review on the Virkayu gameplay channel, and in this one, yes, it's Talon, and yes, Treasure Hunter coupled with First Strike has made him strong, and in the last patch, if you look at the win rate, he was actually kind of fine. Concerning is that the Gore Drinker win rate is pretty good, but we're not going to do that here because I'm afraid of PTSD throwback for myself as well as you guys. Not okay, definitely not okay, but Prowler's Claw Eclipse, Gore Drinker, Duskblade, not really Duskblade, but you know, you can go a variety of mythics on Talon, as we shall fall here early. Now, this is just a quickie because I want to show you the power of Talon minus that farming potential and how this cash money investment in First Strike and Treasure Hunter can end up giving him an absolute huge ability to carry games again. And while he still won't have that same farming cadence, obviously, what on earth is going on here? Korea, bless you for the comedy. Okay, Samira dies as well. Xin Xiao goes back in. This is very interesting. I'm just having a waxing speech here about Talon, and everyone else in the game is just absolutely taking each other out. It's just nice. Let's just let them do what they need to do, and we'll focus on Talon here because we want to see the clear speed, don't we? We want to see how he performs after those nerfs. And you know what? Yes, he is a fraction of his former self, but the win rate data is scaring me, and I'll be honest with you, I'm a little bit worried because of Treasure Hunter's synergy with First Strike and what it will allow him to do. So fortunately, he can't just farm and do nothing, but as you will see from this video, doesn't really stop him doing what he needs to in order to carry games. So let's have a look. And here we see on the ward there, we see the Xin Xiao 4 CS, no buff means he started Wolves. If you're looking for more information on that, I did cover it on the main channel in Jungle Tracking, just to talk about the weirdness you can have with certain starts and how in a lot of your games when jungles do random shit, you know, and you tell me you can't track it, of course you can. Of course you can. There's always a way to track something. And there's always a way, there's not a way to predict randomness, but there's a way to react to randomness with your tracking. Like in this game, for example. So see that video for more information on that. Now, in the meantime, that was what, a 231 blue side with no leash? So slower. Slower. You know, definitely not some kind of free pass of clearing. What's interesting though is most junglers are actually full clearing as Talon still. They're still 5 camping and 6 camping. So here we know he went up. We know he most likely took this into this, which means we know he's definitely 3. We know he's he could show top lane here, but this is probably not the best gank because it's still a Graves. He has no sums though. I think you could try a Xin Xiao with Gragas. I mean, it's pretty decent. You could invest time into this and this and this. You know, if you wanted to play around top side, it's definitely something you can do. But from Talon's perspective, you see the ping coming through here. He's kind of predicted that the Xin Xiao is going to be on that side. He doesn't think he's going to gank top lane because mid's also backing. He thinks it's better off with his lower HP to stay here and just do the full clear. Bot lane, bless their souls with pride, go ahead and hit this and give us that information. So we know that the Xin Xiao is now back here. We can track his CS, obviously. Now we can either wall. They help us out. They don't really need to help you out. If you're getting a leash, like classically you'll get a leash. So you'll have a smite for the crab, so I really don't read too much into that, but how can we carry this game right? Victor disrespecting the back timer of the Vega, disrespecting the full clear timer and crab secure of the Talon, disrespecting the fact that his jungle was hit by a plant in the blue side, and he dies for this. As he should. That was a little closer than I would have anticipated. So I mean, when Xin Xiao gets hit by a plant here and the enemy bot lane moves up, it's pretty clear what's happening. The only downside is you have no idea where Talon began, but I think this is pretty much a dead giveaway of that pressure. So Victor dies for his sins, that's right. Even in Korea, they still do these dumb things. Essentially, with Talon, I would definitely prefer them to look for a bit more action early in terms of their ganks, shortening your clears. I know you can still full clear. I'm just not really a fan of something so delayed. But here we go. This is what we want to see. Low targets that we can E2, abuse. He doesn't go topside. He recognizes the bot lane did good things and he wants to try help that win condition. Also knows that summoners were burnt level 1. We go and we hit the rake. That's basically a dead Samir 100%. We have the E if we need. There we go. Ah, she faked us out. Well, that's annoying. We'll just flash rake again. Okay, and then E that one. All right, so that was not clean. But it was funny. And either way, the E means you get kills. If you're another champion like a Volibear and I don't have flash up, I can only use that one time, one flash, one. And then she just runs away and I can't do anything. So obviously Talon things allows him to actually get that kill. That's essentially what you're looking for. If you can do like 28 CS clear, right? And obviously if he gets the top grab as well, that's good. So that would be 32 if you can do that math in your head. Hope you can. Plus a kill. You're looking decent, you know, that's essentially what we're looking at. Decent early clears. Hello, Shinshao. A little bit of randomness here. Nice flash into Vega. Hits that flash as well. Good respect to thinking about the Shinshao. Look at the damage that still comes out. That's the thing. You put 3 points in your W plus a serrated Dirk, you still do talent damage to champions. The problem is you don't do talent damage to monsters. And while that is an issue, look at this. This is the original Talon gameplay, by the way. For those of you who are saying, well, what is he doing? This is how you used to have to play him. This was our reality, not mine, because I wouldn't play such a degenerate champion, but the people that I covered on my main channel, you do like a first clear, 3 camps, 4 camps, you go looking for ganks, you know, and if you have to do a full clear, you do a full clear, you get a crab, and then you just look to gank, move one up, take a raptor camp, because it's easy, gank again, go look for a gank and counter jungle if you can, like, go dive. This is literally what you're looking for. Obviously, Karaki Ice is going to have his ultimate, so we do have to be very cautious here. We do Prowler's Claw in, I mean, Prowler's Claw ability, you know what I mean? Like, it's not actually Prowler's Claw, but his Q is kind of the same concept, so I typically just say that when my mind escapes. Where does it? Noxian Diplomacy, because that's not a good name for that ability. So you Noxian Diplomacy in, and then you get knocked out. Doesn't really matter at that point. Because obviously with the stacks of your passive, giving that extra bleed damage is huge. In those particular situations, the Rake is such a strong ability. The Champion's Kit is still obnoxious, and he can still eventually deal damage. And while that percentage damage nerf affects his early existence, you know, it's not really stopping him from farming faster than the Shin-Chan, still having more impact. That's because this is an absolute broken ability. You can't see everything, but it's an absolute broken ability. I have no idea why this has no cost or no cooldown. Obviously, it's limited to the terrain, but we lost a wolf camp there. That's very unfortunate, you know. Poor Wolfie, all by himself, but that's fine. Shin-Chan obviously going on a little bit of an adventure. I'm not really focusing on the enemy jungler here, just talking about Talon's ability to carry games. That's essentially what we're looking at, right? So, back to base, Ghostblade completed. Yes, still Ghostblade. After this, you can go to your clips, you can go Prowler Skull, you can go Gore Drinker. Man, I'm still tilted that was the thing for so long. Absolutely stupidity of balance not to really take that out as much as possible. Okay, a little bit of a stutter there, but out of base we go. Back on the map very quickly, much like a Kane, and now we can go do our Krugs. We lose a dragon for our investment, but good pings, good ward, thank you very much from Vega. Bot lane's resetting, so we're not ganking, but if bot lane was pushed up, you could gank, right? You could gank this, so keep those in mind. Whenever something is gankable, you want to go for it. Whenever there's a dive, you can do things, you want to do it. You are not Diana now. You cannot FK farm, but as you can see, it is not as slow as possible. Let's have a look here on Treasure Hunter, actually. We are at 4 out of 5, so current bounty available, 150, bonus gold collected, 400. It's a longsword. It's a longsword by 8 minutes. You know, that's literally the extra. He's got a Ghostblade plus a longsword. That's not to be diminished, okay? Huge. And this one, while this is only, okay, wait a second. Here we go. Oh, someone followed. I mean, who cares if my farming was nerfed if I can just play like this? Slower first clear. Don't care. Gank bot lane. Okay. Take some raptors. All right. Counter jungle because I know he's downside. Okay. Give up a dragon. So. Treasure Hunter, 400 gold, gives him that longsword, and in a closer game, that longsword will make a difference. However, Nautilus is roaming, so he's up here, and obviously we know this is going to happen. There's Samira coming. Why are you all collapsing on a Herald? Like, I know I made the video about how important Herald is, but is it really that vital that we all kind of rotate here? Now, Shinsha's obviously respawned, Nautilus is rotated. Okay, good. I thought we were going to have like some kind of dumb fight over it, but hey, support gap, 100%. Okay, here's Barbarino. Maybe we can fight this. Let's have a look here. All right, we use the Rake, we Q in, we get stunned for what feels like 1 million years. Basically, that's an entire age from Foundation. That is how long he was CC'd. I don't know why we're fighting. Just leave, take this, float to the other side, and take his blue, kill Samira, you know? Like your Talon, you could absolutely go anywhere you want at this point. Apologies on the recording for the things showing up. I don't know why that's active. It shouldn't be active. But hey, you can see some funky names about who followed. So, unnecessary death, 223. You're definitely seeing the benefits of who he is, plus First Strike and Treasure Hunter, but you're also seeing the downsides of that like a clear speed. Because in these negative situations, being able to farm giga fast is what's going to make the difference. Oh, look, Victor. You made a mistake of existing, sir. You made a mistake of existing in a game with a Talon. Did we need to use her ult there? He has no flash. I mean, you could have just E'd over. I don't think you needed to ult, but hey, when it's on a relatively short cooldown, who cares, right? You can also go, no, you can't actually. I was going to say you could also go Ultimate Hunter, but then I realized Treasure Hunter's on the same row. What a weird rune. I feel like this is either going to be hardly used, giga abused, and then removed at some point. You know what I mean? We all see it. Anything with Cuptomancy vibes, it just has a weird soul concept to it, you know? Right. Xinqiao back to base, no blue. I know this blue's up, so I'm going to snack that. We do have ult in 53. We don't have it for bottom lane dive, but again, this is still... So, okay, it's not the original damage. It's not entirely true, right? It's 105%. So when I made the video in January 2021, that damage... hello, we saw this wolf moving. We saw someone play it in a different meta. I mean, that's just disgusting, isn't it? He has to ult to survive. Victor on the left there. Flash exhaust, W hit. Is he gonna go in? He is, but the problem is it's too late because Talon just yeets at the wall. Yeah, oh my goodness. You know, it's just very, very interesting because in that original meta when he was playing the champion, as I was saying, you couldn't farm at all and it was a 2 minutes more time a meta, so you really struggled. But now because it's 215, there's less of an impact against you. He's just completely forcing the issue here, and Xinqiao just cannot do anything about his damage. He cannot do anything about the damage, and he's still down 15 CS, because we can counter jungle so quickly, and we still do enough damage with Treasure Hunter, with First Strike getting us a little bit extra gold, giving us item completion sooner, which allows us to sort of make up for the fact that we... Makes up for the fact that you had those that farming percentage nerfs. You see why I'm concerned now? Not because it's inherently going to be S plus tier again, definitely not. And this high variance is negated by good farming practices and the ability to match up well in terms of a 1v1 fisting sense and keeping up your experience parity and being able to match his ganking cadence to some degree, at least for counter ganks. But at the end of the day, the champion is still the champion, and you don't need to worry about farmers much if you're just getting free gold. What are we at now? There we go. Bonus gold collected, 550. 550 very much. Beautiful, great. And First Strike is at 490. So we've got basically 1,000 gold free from our runes. All right. Okay, Samir presses buttons. Be very cautious here because the champion is misleading, but it doesn't really matter because we are also misleading. And we just rake him down. I mean, we're now 823. Top lane is doing top lane things. I mean, who cares about this? Look at this. 111-013. Xinqiao just has no idea what he's doing. So we're not following Xinqiao, obviously. That's a very interesting case, but that level 1 didn't help him, but at the same time, didn't help anybody. I mean, Talon kind of needs a bit more of a leash now to have a faster 5-6 camp, but none of that really matters here. None of that really matters. It's all about how you, the jungler, handle whatever comes your way. Adversity. Deal with it as a jungler. And I've made a lot of videos on this channel where random things happen, like the Rengar yesterday, right? Jinx got a quadra kill. If that happened in the Rengar's favor, most of you would just stop watching and think, snowball, you know, but when it happens against you, you think, it's GG as well. I mean, it's not always true, as you can see. I mean, it's how you navigate the scenarios. So we have Xinqiao going top lane here. He's level 9 or level 11, 2 levels up. Let's go for a lane gank, cheeky lane gank. I like that. See, this is what I would have liked to see for the second Herald, you know? Don't go fighting when Nautilus is doing that. Let's try snowball something else. Let's not take a random fight. Vega is able to do things, fortunately. Graves is very low. We have the flash from the Nautilus here. We're shadowing up. I think this mirror has wards or a sort of knowledge. You know, where's Talon? You know, where's Talon? Maybe I should just get out of here. Yeah, I mean, she did get out of here, but she went to the wolves and then didn't pay attention to the fact that he walked through her ward, and now she shall fall. There we go. Still, a little bit of a turnaround, level 8 to level 11. So that was 5,400 gold versus 9,000 gold, and she still chunked that much HP. I'm sure Talon, if he ults and smites and uses everything, it's fine, you know, much, much more convincing, but at the same time, Samira, modern champions. Although, I mean, he's an original champion, isn't he? Well, too many reworks, not really. He's been modernized a bit too much, I think, maybe. Too much. I mean, look at this. How do you match this around the map? Yeah. Anyway, so I don't think it's going to be meta again, but definitely the people who are playing it are having a lot of success. 1 to 2% pick rate. That win rate is the highest in the game. Good night, sweet prince. May you live in pain. Just rotate to scenarios. Use your E very frequently. You're not AFK farming whatsoever. before you could definitely AFK farm if the game looked rough. Now you do have to make things happen, but I don't think you're having any issue making things happen with Treasure Hunter specifically, because that extra 350, 400 gold you're gonna get with this entire, you know, Bitcoin rune set is that, is that you will have even if things don't go well, you have an item completed sooner, right? And so he got an extra longsword in this game because he played well. But if he didn't have, you know, as many kills and assists, and he was just able to farm a little bit, that's still the Ghost Blade, right? You know, normally when you're 500 gold away from the Ghost Blade, you just have to live with it. Now he had it because of Treasure Hunter, because of First Strike. So interesting concept to think about, how you can offset slow farming and champions that kind of need to snowball just with gold infusion without doing anything. Obviously that's done. So 660 now. We're about to get into rich territories, ladies and gentlemen. So we have finished the Eclipse. We're going to keep on with our lethality gaming. You can go shoulders. Here we go. Fighting, don't care. Again, did Graves, obviously it's Chinchao, but it's so weird to see Graves not do much damage. He's going to Eclipse himself. Yeah, lethality Graves. I mean, you can go Eclipse and then crit, I think, with Lord Dom's IE and so on. I think that's fine as well. Still forced to flash away from the Samir, but the Bard shows up. Shield Bow goes off. Doesn't really matter now. Range Gap activation. Again, back on the map. Why is Rek'Sai's original ult denied? But this is fine. I mean, what if we just made Rek'Sai's ult, global ult, less? But gave a similar effect of just getting back on the map faster. Because that's always the reason for Rek'Sai's ult being nerfed was that they didn't like the fact that she was never off the map, you know. And Hunter's potion in Ornn Jungle, which is what I've always played in Ornn Jungle, was broken because I just didn't have to leave. I just kept chucking my Hunter's potion. I was always on the field. So it's a concept, right? I've not really enjoyed having too much, and obviously it's not as insane with Talon here. We still have to yeet over the terrain, but it's still meaningful, you know? Almost when Jerry Seinfeld high was shocked there. If you know, you know. Anyway, see, what I had for Rek'Sai, when I was talking with Doubtful about this, was to create Rek'Sai's kind of evolve quest that a lot of other Void champions have, like Kai'Sa as well as Kha'Zix, and most likely the new Void champion will as well, was to basically say level 16, 11, 16, you can choose which version of the ult you want to use, global or the killer. So you probably use the killer at level 6, right, just to make sure you can tower dive and snowball lanes, and then for macro at 11, 16, you would decide to use the teleportation to tunnel spell. So I thought that would be quite an interesting one, but once you choose it at 6, you have it until 11. Once you choose it at 11, you have it until 16. Once you choose it at 16, you're done. So you have to make a very determined choice about which Rek'Sai ult you want to use. I know I've said that before, but I love that concept, honestly. Riot, speak to me. I like that concept for Rek'Sai. Bring it back, limit it a little bit, but in the vein of Talon here, I don't see why we could not do it. I'm a little biased though. So. Right, 12-2-5. As I said, just a bit of a quickie here just to show you how quickly you can snowball games out of the way. Now, obviously, bot lane did do good work early, but it was very much Talon that impacted the bot lane and took it to the next level. You see, a lot of people will say, well, my bot lane won't rotate to that level 3 crab. It's nonsense, because I've seen a lot of low elo bot lanes rotate to crabs and so on. The point is that he revisited it immediately. He didn't just go top lane and sequence down. He went straight bot lane again, looked for the impact, took this, counter ganked, took Krugs, dove top lane, right? And that's where the game was made. So he full cleared passively, paid attention to pro, gave up crabs if he needed to, or took the crabs that he could, went immediately into 3-lane impact. Bot, Raptors, mid, Krugs, top. 2 camps, 3 ganks, and now you can either fall back down to your blue side or just go back and spend your gold, which is of course what he did. And he just kept that pressure up whenever things were happening, E over the wall and get there. So as you can see, final data for you. We have here 1,000 gold from this, plus 550 from that, 1,500 in a 19-minute game. That is a BF sword. That is a needlessly large rod. That's meaningful damage, meaningful itemization. And with Edge of Night here, we didn't go Shoulders Grudge, I was there. Cyrilla's Grudge, obviously we went for the Edge of Night because useful against things like Nautilus and Victor, and Gragas, of course. Trundle, because I had a title called Trundle is a problem. I was going to say Talon is a problem, so my mind just said Trundle is a problem. Good grief. Talon is a little bit of a problem again. Low play rate, still good in high elo, still definitely has downsides. Do not get me wrong, but I think Treasure Hunter plus First Strike is a potent combination for this champion. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed and learned something. As always, leave a like, comment, subscribe, see the main channel for the tier list and all other cool content, Patreon for your VOD reviews, VOD coachings, POV coachings, all kinds of coachings, and access to the VODs of that. And I'll see you all in the next tutorial.